Hi, my name is Eric Freeman. Welcome to E-Class, and today we're going to be talking about how you can build your credit score up to a solid 750. Throughout my credit journey, it wasn't a fast thing. Understand that now. Getting your credit score up is not something that happens overnight. It takes time to build up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how credit works first, what it entails, what it consists of, how do they build this number from all of the data that they're getting from all of these places. Then we're going to talk about how you can pull up your credit report, look at the things that's on there, and understand what's affecting your credit score. What things on here are positively influencing our credit score and what things are negatively influencing our credit score. The negative things, we're going to talk about how to get those off. The positive things, we're going to talk about how to reinforce those things so we can bring our credit score up over time. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. This is something that is a process. It takes time, but I'll be the first to tell you that it doesn't take a lot of time. You just have to take the necessary steps and do it right for you to see the results on your credit score. When I first went and started looking at my credit score, I had a 480. I'm like, all right, what does this mean? 480. Who cares? Give me what I want, right? No, that's not how it works. Throughout a few years of me applying these steps and doing the things that were necessary to build my credit up, it worked. And it wasn't that hard. It didn't take me to be a genius to understand this. It was just that I took the initiative to go ahead and do the things that I was learning to do. So the first thing that we have to do to even know how to manipulate credit is we got to understand how it works. Credit and credit scores, they're based off of models. Depending on whatever you're trying to use it for, there's going to be a model, which they call a FICO Score, how they base how credit worthy you are. So your credit score basically is going to be telling whatever company that's running your credit how credit worthy you are. For instance, hey, Eric, he has a 560 credit score. He's trying to do this and I wouldn't do it. Or it's going to say, hey, Eric, oh yeah, Eric, yeah, he's very responsible with his finances from what we see, aka credit history. Yeah, go ahead and give him what he wants and I'm sure one of these banks are going to finance it. So, first thing, how credit works. The main thing that affects your credit the most is your payment history. So that's 35% of your credit score. How good are you on paying back or paying on the things that you have consistently without missing payments? The other 30% is your credit utilization. The thing that I notice that people don't always necessarily bring up about credit utilization is it's only based off of revolving credit. Throw all the big terms out the window. Revolving credit means credit cards. Things, if I pay this, then I get the money back. I got $5 grand revolving credit. I go spend a stack. I got 4,000 left. I owe 1,000. If I pay 500 of that 1,000, now of that 4,000, I got 4,500. Right? It's revolving. Once you pay it, you get it back. That's 30% of your score right there. If you can handle those two things, and we'll get into some tips about that, then you can bring your credit score up really, really fast. The other three things that affect your credit score is your credit history, how long your longest account, how far back they can see that you've been consistent with making your payments and everything else. Your credit mix, how many different type of things that you have in your credit that's reporting to these agencies. Having a variety in different types of accounts absolutely helps your credit. And new credit, right? How much of this money that you show that you're responsible with, that these banks are giving you, how much of that did you just get? So now we know how credit works. We can get into a lot of ways of how to manipulate that score, right? That number with those 5 categories. But before we can get into that, we got to know what's on your report. And how you do that is you can go ahead and pull your free credit report that you get annually. You get one free credit report every year. Remember that. Go to, I believe it's myfreecreditscore.com or my free annual credit report. There's a bunch of ways to pull it up. But you can go ahead and get that one free credit report, pull it up so we can see what we're working with. So when you pull up your credit report, they're going to be using terms like derogatory. Derogatory meaning bad, affecting bad. Now, there could be a few things affecting your credit report in a derogatory sense. It could be the fact that you just don't have enough credit. Not having any credit is as good as having bad credit, believe it or not. You can have a 700 credit score, 740 credit score, and when you go to get the things that you want, you get denied. And that's for a reason. You can have late payments on your profile, collections, that's the biggest one. We're going to make a whole video about getting collections off. You can have maxed out accounts. Usually with me, if my credit score takes a dip, it's because I spent some bread. Spending that money also affects your credit. But as far as the revolving, we'll talk about that. Bankruptcies and foreclosures. Those are other things that we'll make videos about that can affect your credit negatively. But for the most part, those are the main things. So the first thing that I did was I learned how to dispute. You got the opportunity to challenge that information for inaccuracies and potentially get it taken off, whether it was you or not. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna put no information out there. Don't lie. But where I come from, there's a thing that we all like to say. It was, I don't know what you're talking about. It was not me. And if it was me, prove that it was me. And that's what worked for me. Everything that was affecting it negatively, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't know who it was. I don't know how this got here. Now, you can go and search and read and watch videos about all of the different ways that they tell you to dispute information or to challenge inaccuracies and all of those things. Mind you, we got way more videos to come. We're going to talk about all of that. But what worked for me, I don't know who this is. And literally everything on my credit report that was affecting it negatively, everything got taken off. Now there's different ways to submit your disputes. There's letters that you can send. Me personally, I sent the letters. You can dispute online. I believe you can even call the credit agencies and put in a dispute that way, but I'm not sure about that. What I did, I sent the letters. I'll link the letters in the bio below. You can get the free letters, fill them out, send them in. Hey, I don't know who this is. This needs to be taken off immediately. And mind you, there are going to be different letters that you use for different situations. You don't want to just pull up some blanket letter and sit it in, right? Imagine how many of those they get, right? I'm not sure if they have the right to not process your request as it being illegitimate, but I would choose the letter that fits what I'm trying to fight against the best. There's many of ways to get this stuff off of our credit report. I just want to share my story with you guys here today. And I'm not even done with my credit journey yet, right? I've got it up significantly from a 480 to a 775, but I want to go higher. So this entire journey, I'm going to be posting on this YouTube channel, so you might as well just subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when I make this new content and I'm sharing this game, you'll be notified and you'll know to check it out. Moving along from there, it took maybe 2 months for them to start taking all of that stuff off of my credit. It didn't jump significantly. It did go up. But what that enabled me to do was to get my first credit card. Capital One Secure card. This is my first credit card. Still to this day only has a $500 limit on it. So what happened was I had to pay that $500. In return, they gave me a credit card with a $500 limit on it. When I spent that $500, no matter what it was on, I always paid it back. And I only used it on stuff that I was going to spend anyway. So now the credit agencies are seeing that, okay, now I have some utilization. Now I have consistency showing that I can pay my bills on time. It took about 3 months. My credit score got into about the 600s. It was like 601. I said, all right, I'm out of the 5s. I'm not in the 4s anymore. Let me go ahead and get another credit card, the Discover card. And I love this card to this day. This was the first bank that was like, We know you hustling. We know you on your way up. We gonna show you some love. And they have so many benefits with this card. Like, I'm gonna never get rid of this card. As long as they keep raising my credit limit, I'm gonna keep this card forever. And that's gonna be a whole nother video. How to use credit cards to your advantage. To get free money, to get free stuff, to get trips, to get just free anything, just for spending the money you were gonna spend anyway. Then I came to my homies, my dogs, right? Citibank. Citibank, they show so much love. They show love. They show love. Literally, this card always gave me the most money. Literally. So when I get credit limit increases on this one, they give me a bunch of money. I don't know if since they're a larger bank, they just got it like that to do. I don't know what it is. But Citibank, they gave me my first credit limit that was over $1,000. Boom. And from here, that's where everything starts getting better. After that, when I hit 700, I was like, cool. I went and got another card. It was the Capital One Quicksilver card, something. And mind you, none of my cards got annual fees. And that's an important thing to note, but we'll talk about all that in another video. I don't think I ever even used this card. And the way that they work on this card with me, every 5 payment periods that I pay on time, which I never used it, so it's always on time, they just give me $250 more. They gave me $500, then they moved it up to $750 to $1,000, $1,250, $1,500, etc., etc. So now we're getting into a little bit more recent history. Now I'm at a solid 700 just off paying my credit card bills, and my total available credit is getting higher and higher. What I did was I joined a credit union. Mine was Navy Federal Credit Union. They gave me the bands, really. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, up until I got to Navy Federal, I think I had about 5 racks in credit. I'm not gonna say how much they gave me. They gave me a significant amount of money. And I think that's because since they're a credit union and they basically operate off of the members, so they transfer all of the gains and profits back to their members. I'm getting close to 20,000 now. I had about a 720 at the time, and that took my credit profile all the way to the next level. But it does not end there. My Navy Federal card, which is an American Express credit card, I get points just like the regular American Express. And I'm gonna save them points up for 15, 20 years. I'm just gonna cash out all the points, and I expect it's gonna be about 20K or something like that. So we shall see. So I got 5 credit cards. They all got exceptional payment history. I don't have nothing derogatory on my credit profile. Only thing I have is inquiries. Inquiries, don't worry too much about those, but we'll talk about those in another video as well. So boom. You know, I'm doing all right. I'm around 720 when I went to go get my car. Right? Beat them up. I got such a great deal on my car. I understand why credit is important. I would have never got the deal that I got on my car if it wasn't from my credit score. When I walked into that car dealership, they didn't even want to let me test drive the cars. But when they ran my credit, now I'm Mr. Freeman and all that shit. But that's a whole nother story. I got my last credit card, which is my 6th credit card. I'm expecting to get 10K and above. And yeah, last time I checked, my credit score is at like a 775. And yeah, I got over 20,000 and available credit, over 20,000 just off credit cards. I just got a lot of good things going on because of my credit, because I started. And I woke up one day and I said, I want to try to build my credit for no apparent reason. And it worked. So just a quick overview over everything. You want to understand first how credit works. Pull it up. Look at those 5 things. How they weigh. The 2 biggest. Your credit utilization, which is only based off revolving credit. And you want to look at your payment history and make sure you don't have no missed payments or nothing. If you got collections or missed payments, you got to get them taken off. Try to settle your derogatory remarks on your credit report before you try any of this stuff. But like I said, what worked for me, I don't know who this was. And then from there, get you a credit line. Get you a credit line. And we're going to get so much deeper into this stuff. Trust me. We're going to get deep into this stuff. There's many of ways to get things done that you need to get done. Start teaching yourself that. And you need help then. That's why you come to E-Class. Because that's the whole reason I started this channel, was to share the information that I know and how I built myself into the success that I have. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff. But for the most part, that's it. Do all of those things. And after a while, man, you're going to be sitting high up on them numbers like me. 775. And literally, I can go and get whatever I want. That's no cap. If I utilize these tactics and these processes that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, I'll always be paid on time no matter what I spend. I'll always be paid on time. And all that's going to happen with time is they're going to be giving me more and more money. That's exactly how I did it. It was not hard. It wasn't not anything that was difficult. But if you have any questions or you feel like there's some loose ends that you want me to tie up, shoot me an email, go in the comments. I'll tie up any of the loose ends for you if you have any questions. But let's go ahead and continue this credit journey, run it up so we can get what we want.